Good morning, everybody. Today is day 56. Believe it or not, this is a great way to start the day because 56 is what's called a semi-perfect number because it's the sum of two perfect numbers. And if you're wondering to yourself, you can say it, self, why are we talking about math and perfect numbers on day 56? It's because when in doubt, this is where I go. I go to math because I think it helps find either some symmetry or asymmetry in whatever we're dealing with. But ultimately, don't worry, we'll get to something biblical. 28 is a perfect number because all of its divisors, so 1, 2, if you put all the divisors down, up to, but not including itself, so all the way up to 14, if you were to add all of the divisors up, it would equal 28, which is why it's called a perfect number. And 56 is semi-perfect because it's twice a perfect number. What does that have to do with today? Not a whole lot, but there are some people who dig into Scripture. Like if I look at Matthew 5:6. So if we take this and say, okay, Matthew 5:6. And if we do that for all of them, we go, okay, Matthew 5:6 says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." And then I look at Mark 5:6, and it says, "When we saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and fell on his knees in front of him." And what do they have in common other than they're in Scripture? The answer is nothing. But there are many people who will study numbers and the significance of different things. I've seen people post about, if you look at 3:16 and all the different Scripture verses, it brings you some deeper, fuller meaning, when the reality is I think most of us haven't spent, I know I don't feel like I have enough time just reading it for what it really says. And I'm reminded again, and I said this at one point in time, and it's worth repeating. What is the first and most important commandment that God gives us? We need to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, mind, soul, with everything that we have, with the knowledge that we are gaining, with our academic side of our brain, with the soul, with what is within me, with my heart. All aspects of me love God. So when I look at numbers, I see the beauty of God's creation. I look at day 56 saying, I think there's hope because there's been hope since day one. There's been hope that things will go to something different, that this will not be a new normal. And for that, I'm forever grateful. How this will transition and how life will change in the next months or year, I don't know. But I know that these two things still remain, that we will love the Lord our God with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our soul. And then I will do my very best, and I hope you do too, to love my neighbor as myself.